this is where it happened. One moment I was cruising through paradise, the next moment I was skidding across the pavement, completely out of control. One patch of sand changed everything for me. I crashed my scooter here on Koh Phangan and it nearly ruined everything. If you're planning to ride here on this island, you need to watch this video to hear exactly what happened and how to avoid your vacation turning into a nightmare here on Koh Phangan. This is not a joke and you really need to watch until the end because you will not believe this story.
For 6 months, we have rode scooters all over Thailand, from Phuket, Krabi, Hua Hin to Koh Lanta, but nothing, and I mean nothing, compares to Koh Phangan. This island is absolutely stunning, but it hides a deadly secret, and that is sand. Sand nearly on every curve, hill, and road, and riding here is a complete gamble.
So sadly, it happened again. Somebody just had a scooter accident over here. It was a young Thai girl, actually. They just took her away in an ambulance right here on this corner. But it's just so much sand in the street here, and they just won't clean it. Like, it's just crazy over here.
Every single day we see people with scooter accident injuries, and like full moon party is tomorrow. Overall this week it's been a lot more crowded on this island. You can feel it already. People are coming in for the full moon party. And yesterday we saw how many people? 4 people with injuries.
Yeah.
In one day, like with severe injuries.
I think there's a high percentage of people with injuries here.
Yeah,
and I think tourists get here, they don't know what to expect here. You would never imagine that the roads would be in such poor conditions. And I honestly, truly believe that the roads in most parts of Thailand, they're nowhere near like this. Like actually the roads are pretty good for the most part all over Thailand.
Yeah.
But here it's just something completely different.
Koh Phangan does not have a great public transportation system. Uber, Grab, and regular taxis also do not exist here. So you're pretty much left with only 2 options. Either you rent a scooter or you take a group taxi called Sang Thais. They are essentially pickup trucks with benches in the back, functioning as shared taxis that travel along the main road of the island. But they are incredibly inconvenient and expensive. Most rides will cost you around 300 to 400 baht per person, even if they're just 5 minutes.
Now you can rent a car as well, but it is not very common and there is not much supply. So like many digital nomads, tourists, we rented scooters to explore the island. It is the easiest and the cheapest way to get around Koh Phangan.
Within just a couple of days of getting to Koh Phangan, we quickly realized an abnormal amount of people that are walking around with scooter injuries on this island. So we definitely did take precautions and started riding extremely careful. It was just another sunny morning in Koh Phangan. I was heading to a women's wellness circle and I was driving extremely careful. But even riding carefully did not save me.
So yeah, this is where it happened. I was just coming this way and I was getting ready to take the curve over here, and I wasn't speeding. I was riding probably around like 25 km/h. I was starting to slow down to go around the curve, and then boom, I just felt the pavement basically remove itself from under me. I think I hit the floor right around here and I was sliding, and all I remember was I was laying in the middle of the road, very sharp pain in my belly. I couldn't move, and all I saw was a police car right in front of me. They just stopped just in time. People from over there that was sitting in the restaurant, you were able to just hear that sound of the sand, right? You can see the sand all over. I'm not sure if you can see it in the camera, but we'll show it now. But this was 3 weeks ago, so the roads looked different 3 weeks ago. Anyway, as I was laying down here, the police came. They tried to help me up. They scooter out of the road, and some of the people that were sitting in this restaurant over there, they came running and helping me. I called Larry. Larry came rushing, and we went to the hospital.
We made it to the hospital. The wounds were nasty, but overall I was incredibly lucky because I only suffered surface wounds. The nurse in the ER cleaned the wounds and bandaged everything. After the initial shock, I was just so glad to come home, and I literally just went to bed and didn't move for the rest of the day.
I'm part of the statistic now. Tell me you're in Thailand without telling me you're in Thailand. It's so painful.
Sorry.
But I'll be okay.
So I just want to show you guys exactly what we are talking about. So right now I am on a turn here in Koh Phangan. This curve actually has quite a bit of sand on it, and you may not actually see it. So I'm just gonna, like, while you're riding, you may not notice it right away. I could imagine that a lot of accidents happen right here. So the locals seem to know exactly where the sand patches are, but if you're not from around here, you might not know. So here is quite a bit of sand, and you can just like kick that around, right? And that's enough for you to slide on this sand with your scooter. Okay, so I just want to show you guys another example of how dangerous the roads are, and in particular how much of a problem the sand is here on these roads, because it really does blend into the pavement over here. So right now I'm in a shaded area, so it's actually kind of hard to actually see the road. So it's a problem when you're driving in the shade and when you are driving at night. It's definitely going to be worse. So this is a really good example of how bad the roads are. So here, this is a turn, and this is a lot of sand. Like, I can literally kick up the sand. Like, it's a lot, and it's difficult to actually see when you are driving, and it's like that on both sides of this road right here. And if you're driving a scooter, this is definitely something that you can slip on and fall off your scooter. It's a lot of sand, as you can see, but it's difficult to see it if you're driving. I don't even want to say at a high speed, honestly. I just feel like anything like even a simple brake of the scooter will have your scooter sliding. Again, that can be cleaned up with a street cleaner, but it's just not happening. And I would also add here is that the locals, like I'm watching the locals and residents as well pass here, so they are aware of exactly where these patches are. So they'll, actually that guy just drove right over it, but a lot of people are aware of where these sand patches are, so they'll drive on the side where there's no sand. I'm aware of a lot of the times where these sand patches are, so I can follow the tracks of car tires because they seem to be able to like clear the road. But if you're driving on a scooter, you may not see these clear tracks.
Koh Phangan is actually the only place in Thailand where we have seen these scooter training wheels, because that is apparently how dangerous these roads are. So many people are riding these things in Koh Phangan.
All right, so it's been 48 hours since my scooter accident, and I've just been laying in bed because that's all I could do. It's a lot of pain. Thankfully, I only have abrasions, so I have like 3 on this side and 2 on this side. Yesterday we went to the hospital to get my bandages changed, and it was just insane to see how many scooter accident victims there are on Koh Phangan. First of all, it was so painful to get my bandages changed. Like, it was like almost like I had the whole accident all over again, because for some reason, like you can see it here, they use stuff that like just gets stuck on the wound, and like I can't pull it off. Like, it's gonna be so painful. And when they changed the bandage, they didn't just rip it off, but they like made it a little bit wet, but it still kind of like ripped off the surface of the wound again. So it was super painful. And there was like, at the same time as I was getting this done, it was in the emergency room that I had to get this changed. And at the same time, there was, I think, like 4 other scooter accident people in there. Anything from like someone having a broken arm, needing to get surgery, to like other people with surface wounds and stuff. It was actually really, really crazy to see. So I asked the nurse, like, how many scooter accident victims do you get per day? And she said, oh, like around 80, there's too much sand on the road. So I'm just mind blown, like that, first of all, that 80 people a day, that she gets 80 people a day, but also that like people know what the problem is and nobody seems to address it. Like even when you look at online, like it's just, everyone knows there's sand on the roads and everyone's just basically like you just need to deal with it basically, but no one's doing anything about it. So if you ride a scooter in Koh Phangan, like you just need to be so hyper aware of it. I was aware of it when I was riding, and I was riding very careful. I still had an accident. There was this girl in the ER that was just absolutely beside herself, like her arm was broken and she had to like speak to the nurses through Google Translate. And also the little bit that I did understand from that conversation was that she needed to have surgery and maybe she didn't want to get it in Koh Phangan, which I completely understand because honestly that hospital, I didn't feel that comfortable in it. But yeah, she wanted to like go back to her country and she couldn't afford the flight or something like that. Or she couldn't afford the surgery, I'm not sure. But it also just made me realize how grateful I am to have really good health insurance that covers me wherever I am in the world, and how much of a relief that was. Like even though my wounds are not that bad, but everything is covered, and I don't have to worry about that part. Which actually wasn't that expensive, honestly. It only cost like 1,200 the first day I went into the ER, and then the second day when I got my bandages changed, it was another 1,000 baht. But yeah, if you go in there, like there's just so many more injuries that are way worse, where it's really important to have a health insurance that covers that. So the health insurance that we both have is a digital nomad health insurance that covers us anywhere in the world, and it's called the Genki Residence Plan, which I will link in the description below. And literally, like, I have had no problems with them ever. Like the day that I send in my claim with them, like I already have it approved by them. So yeah, I can really recommend it. So now we are going to change my bandages at home. I'm gonna soak this so that it's not that painful. And then I hope that this heals up very fast. It's still very painful to walk, but yeah, just hoping that I'll be good to go outside again very soon.
We've been here for almost 4 weeks, and I'm trying to understand, like, why wouldn't they just clean the roads? Like, can't be that hard to just collect funds if you want to tax the tourists or introduce a tourist tax to clean the roads. Do it. We pay fees to enter other islands all the time here in Thailand. So collect the fee, whatever you need to do. In my opinion, I think that there is financial motives. There's a lot of businesses that benefit from these roads being in such poor conditions, and one of that's going to be definitely the hospitals. They make so much money from these injuries,
especially because they're ripping them open every day.
You have to keep going back there. You have the
pharmacies.
Yes, you have the pharmacies. Oh my goodness, we went to the pharmacy the other day. They were charging tourist prices. They charged 3 times the regular price for bandages. Yeah, some of the pharmacies, they're doing that. There's ethical ones, doing the right thing, but there are unethical ones over here. You have the scooter companies themselves, you have to do your research when you rent a scooter over here. Go to a business that has really good reviews. You had the accident with the scooter, we took it back. Yeah, we had to pay for them to do the repairs.
2,000?
Yeah, 2,000 baht for a fender and the side panel, whatever. But there's other businesses here that, they will charge you ridiculous prices, so they make money on top of that.
Online, people will blame the tourists and people will blame people that can't drive and stuff like that. And it's so ridiculous because honestly, like, we have lived in Dubai that is literally a desert, and the streets are not this sandy in Dubai. So and it's just ridiculous.
Just one of the other problems is that people are coming here, and they are also driving recklessly. So it's not like everybody's coming here and everyone is doing the right thing. you do see the difference between like when it's not full moon and when it is full moon. Like the roads now are so much more dangerous. You see people doing way more reckless things.
People riding recklessly is definitely a problem, but you have this everywhere, right? In Phuket, we've had this problem a lot in Phuket. But
true.
the difference is that the streets itself are not sandy and dangerous on top of that.
Yeah.
So like in Phuket, we had to be very careful expecting what are other people around us doing and stuff. But here you have to do that, and on top of that you have to look at the sand in front of you on the road, and oftentimes you just can't see the sand.
Yeah, and I would say after it rains, the roads become so much worse because the dirt and the sand flow from the forest or the jungle into the roads, and then it just sits there.
Yeah.
And then the water dries up, and then it becomes difficult to see.
Today is day 6 after the accident, and the last time I was at the hospital was day 2, and that was a horrible experience getting my bandages changed. So I didn't go back there. Larry was changing my bandages for the last days, and I've had some progress healing my wounds. They're still open though. And today we went back because I had the feeling that maybe I'm getting an infection on my feet. I just wanted to get like one really proper clean and them having a look at it. And again, it was so painful. Like take a cotton ball, they put it into some liquid disinfectant, and they seriously, like they just scrape and scrape and scrape on the wound. And I'm just like, that cannot be the way that you're actually healing a wound. It's just not possible. The crust, she scraped the crust off, and like I know that is how the wound is healing underneath. So it's just, I just like have no confidence that they're actually doing this correctly. I don't really feel confident doing everything at home, but I also don't feel confident going to the hospital. And also this hospital is so dirty, like it's crazy. Anyway, like I was sitting there and I was like crying because it was so painful, them scraping my wound. And then all of a sudden this girl comes in next to me laying down, and literally her whole, like half of her face is in bandage, her arm, her leg, so much bandage, like, and swollen. And I'm just like, oh my God, like I just had so many emotions because I couldn't imagine being in her shoes. Like I'm going through so much pain and so much like I'm going through so much pain and so much frustration, and like I really have minor injuries, and she has it everywhere, and that's gonna be lasting. Oh God, I'm speechless at this point, honestly. Like it's so frustrating, and it just feels like no one freaking cares over here. Like no one cares about all of these injuries or giving proper care to people that are injured. Like it just feels like they're just re-traumatizing us every day.
Another issue that over here, I spoke about these bandages. Apparently like the bandages that they're using in the hospital is like it really sticks to the skin, and while the skin is healing, the skin grows through these bandages. So when they remove the bandage, it rips up the skin. So there was another guy in there in the hospital I was speaking to, because he overheard me talking to this couple about these bandages, and he says that he actually has stitches and they're wrapping it with this cloth gauze, and they keep ripping the skin every single time. So he wanted to know where to get these bandages. I'll drop the name on where we're getting them. So if for whatever reason you were very unfortunate to have an accident, check out this pharmacy. They carry a range of really helpful products, traditional Chinese medicine, Western medicine, because I feel like another problem over here is that the pharmacies are not really carrying a wide range of products that are actually helping to recover these wounds at a quick pace.
It has been 3 weeks since my scooter accident, and I am incredibly grateful to say that all of my wounds have finally healed. We managed the recovery entirely at home using the medicinal grade Manuka honey that I picked up right around here at a local store. and it honestly worked complete wonders. I never had to return to the hospital, which I am so incredibly grateful for. The past week, I have been able to explore more of Koh Phangan's beauty and experience some truly unforgettable adventures. I must say that I really do love this island, but I have to be real with you, the road conditions here have taken a serious toll on our overall experience. Every time we ride on these roads, there is this underlying sense of danger. It's not just a feeling, it is a constant awareness that things could go wrong at any moment.
Scooter accidents are one of the biggest dangers in Koh Phangan. And across Thailand, over 14,000 people have died in motorcycle crashes in Thailand in 2024. Charlie walked away from this accident, but many people do not. Koh Phangan is beautiful, but brutal if you are not careful. One scooter accident can derail your trip, your plans, and even your life. So here's what we've learned, and we hope that you take it seriously.
Always wear a helmet. 84% of people who died in scooter accidents in 2024 did not wear a helmet. I literally crashed my scooter 7 minutes away from the house. So no matter how short your trip is, just put that helmet on. It could save your life. No matter how careful you think you're riding, ride even more carefully. And do not let anything or anyone rush you, ever. Assume other riders will make mistakes and be on extremely high alert of your surroundings at all times. Avoid riding in the rain and at night on dark, unfamiliar roads. And very important, get solid travel health insurance. If the worst happens, you'll be protected physically and financially.
Something else I would like to highlight is the deposit that we left on the scooter when we first got it. So after the crash, obviously there was some damage. But in Thailand, there are two common ways to leave a security deposit. That's one in cash, usually between 3,000 to 7,000 Thai baht, or leaving your passport with the rental company. We always choose to leave cash, and we highly recommend that you do the same. The last thing that you want is to have a scooter accident and also be scammed for overcharging for repairs or being extorted to get your passport back. We have heard horror stories in regards to passport deposits.
If you found this video helpful, please hit the subscribe button. We're building a community of conscious, informed travelers and digital nomads who look out for each other. Please feel free to share your experience in the comments, whether it was a close call for you, a lesson learned, or questions you still have. We love to hear your story and want to raise awareness with you. And don't forget to check the links in the description to travel insurance options that we use and recommend. Protecting yourself means exploring places like Koh Phangan with confidence and peace of mind. See you in the next one.